All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everyone. Good. Page. Here. Here. Peters. Here. Shoulders.
Here.
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 Here. Right. First thing up, most important thing of the night, we got a proclamation. So, players and coaches come up here, please. Give me a second.
We even know that. Right in here in the circle. Yep. Is the podium? Thank you. It's in the way. Yeah. I was thinking there's enough of them for a picture.
Yes, no, I can move. I'm gonna stand over here. Awesome. Well, it's a little late. We've had some scheduling issues, but we feel pretty strongly about you guys. Very proud of you. And so we're doing an official village proclamation. So bear with me here. Proclamation celebrating the St. Joseph Ogden High School Spartans baseball team for winning the 2026 IHSA Class 2A Illinois State Baseball Championship. Whereas the Village of St. Joe takes immense pride in recognizing the accomplishments of its youth and their representation of our community through sportsmanship. Whereas the St. Joe Ogden High School Spartans baseball team achieved the prestigious honor of winning the 2026 Illinois High School Association Class 2A Illinois State Baseball Championship. And whereas the dedication, perseverance, and teamwork of the student athletes, together with the guidance of their coaches and unwavering support of their parents and fans, were crucial to the team's success and are worthy of commendation. Whereas the team's achievement is a testament to the strength of athletics in our community and reflects the values of discipline, sportsmanship, and community pride. Now, therefore, I, James Page, Mayor of the Village of St. Joseph, Illinois, do hereby proclaim in recognition of the St. Joseph Ogden High School Spartans baseball team for winning the 2026 IHSA Class 2A Baseball Championship, and call upon all citizens of the Village of St. Joe to join us in celebrating their remarkable achievement, expressing our heartfelt gratitude for the pride they brought our community. Thank you. Everyone gets a copy. Thank you. All right, hang on, we're good. We can do pictures. Yeah, do want to be in. I'll stand off to the side here. Congratulations, guys. Thank you. Good job. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. Congratulations, guys. Now, you're more than willing to stay. We're going to talk about sewer plant.
Real fun stuff.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, a lot of scattered this summer. Yeah, that's all right. Slow. A week ago, they had to really be in a wheelchair now. Okay, before we get to public comment, I got a couple of things I want to say. First of all, thank you, Terry, for standing in for me for June. As folks know that I've had some health challenges and have been gone for about 6 weeks, and I for everybody in YouTube land and in here, thank you for all the support and help that the citizens have shown, family and friends. It's been quite the challenge for last month and a half, and especially thank you to my wife for putting up with me for the last month and a half. But I'm back because I don't get paid unless I'm at meetings. So I'm here for my $175. But really, thank you, everybody, for the support. Public comment. Is there anybody here? Do we have anybody signed up for a public comment? No, okay. Regular consent agenda. On the consent agenda, we have our board of trustee minutes from June 23rd. Approval of bills in the amount of $133,677.15. Treasurer's report from July 2026. Investment recommendations from July 2026. And consideration and possible approval of right-of-way permit 104 to Metro Communications. Consideration and possible approval of right-of-way permit 105 to Fidium Communications. Are there any questions, comments, concerns with the consent agenda? If hearing none, do I hear a motion to accept the?
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Any further comments?
Walsh. Yes.
Peters. Yes.
Shoulders.
Yes.
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 Motion passed 6.
Okay, new business, consideration and possible direction on bids for the surplus property located at 407 South Main Street. That's exhibit 7. We have in here somewhere the 3 proposals. And I'm throwing this out for, I'm assuming everybody's looked at the 3 proposals. I'm throwing this out for the board trustees to discuss, to see what your thoughts are.
Martin's not interested, is that still the case?
Yeah, I mean, he wanted me to just include his proposal, but yeah. But he did not have a specified use like the RFP.
Question.
Or it was a variety of different specific use.
So that leaves us with 2 viables. One of them is reliable or overhead doors company, and the other one is a private person who Seth Weddick, it looks like here, wants to remodel the church into a home in its current condition to, modify or remodel it into a home. Reliable wants to add garages for storage, kind of turned into business. Will that, if that proposal will require a zoning change, correct?
You have to amend your authorized use table to create it as a special use within R1 and then approve a special use permit as well. It's not, I'm sorry, it's not contiguous with commercial, so there's no, you can't just, you just can't make it commercial the way I understand it, so you have to do the authorized use.
Do I have to go through the zoning board then?
Can I ask them a question since they're here? Did you guys talk to the neighbors at all over there? Did you get out to?
I have spoken to a few of the neighbors who have not raised any questions or concerns as far as our business being there.
Their benefit? Tip wise? At all? Be over either one?
It's the same.
Yeah.
It just depends on the level of improvement. I mean, with reliable overhead doors, they're talking about adding a substantial addition onto the property. So whenever it gets reassessed, it might increase the overall value that's paying taxes on it, which would add more money to the tip potentially over time. But if it's the same structure, the other one will be roughly whatever it comes on online, because it's never been on the tax rolls technically, so it'll come online at whatever. So
Yeah, because it was a church.
yeah,
So it's exempt.
Are you planning on having
outside, storage facilities?
No, I mean, the only thing that we would host outside would be potentially like a dumpster of some sort for trash. But outside of that, the purpose of putting the extension on would be to house all material and as well as trucks. Even at my house right now, where the shop is currently, I put an addition on to be able to keep my vehicles inside. I'm trying to keep things nice and neat. I'm working on like a parking extension of my house right now as well, just to be able to organize things. So, knowing that we would be in town with a lot of eyes, we would keep everything nice and clean.
Great. I think zoning passes it for special use. That's what I lean towards, but if they don't,
That's where, if there's any neighborhood opposition, that's where the plan.
That's my only concern as well, the neighbors. I know you said you talked to some, but I'm sure there's others who maybe you didn't get to talk to that might be vocal. Just saying.
I mean, I like the idea of supporting a local business, but I fully concur. I mean, I can see people coming in complaining about that. And then you're gonna get in like, well, why didn't you spot zone this, change this for another property and all that? I'm supportive of the. Well, I would like to see us support that, but I see a lot less resistance than others, just because it'd be an R1 residential and it would be conforming. But, if everybody's got sentiments, go try that, see what happens.
What's the, Joe, what's the implications of the special use? In case they want to sell it in the future, or what's the implications for other?
Well,
It's a case by case for us on special use anywhere in the village, correct?
and Mark can expand on this, but you had one similar with Philo Exchange Bank roughly 3 years ago, where they were given a special use permit with an R1 for, I think we created a classification called bank and or office building with drive-through. So they wanted to have it generic enough with office to where they could sell it to like an insurance agency or something else like that down the line. But I don't know, does that sound right?
Yeah, so, with R1 zoning, you got a right to build a house. All you do is just get a building permit, there's no process. If you wanna do something different, you can't do it, the only way you can do it is by right. You can modify the zoning classification and allow this proposed use as part of R1, that's okay to do. But then anybody can come in and do it by right anywhere in that zoning classification. So the backup plan to that is if you wanted to allow a certain kind of use, then you create a special use category. You don't have to grant special uses at all, but if they go through the process and apply for it, during the process, P and Z and then you can say, yeah, we'll let you do it, but we're gonna put all these special conditions on there so you don't have a negative impact on your neighbors. So all those conditions can include anything from landscaping that could get required, to limiting the size of the project so that the footprint is maybe smaller than what might otherwise be allowed in the ordinance, to limiting lighting, to limiting noise. You could even put in a requirement that the use is allowed for a period of time, for 20 years or something like that, and then it sunsets. So whatever kinds of things you'd want to put in there, you could put in there to minimize the impact on the community. And the idea behind the special use permit is notice goes out to everybody within 250 feet of the property, and we stick an ad out that lets the public know that we're having a hearing on it, so that anybody that feels like they need to have their say on it can have their say, and then you take that into account as you're doing it. So if you were to try to do this, you could have a sales contract put together. You may approve a concept tonight, but you're just giving us direction as to what we're going to do the paperwork for. And then the contract would say, yeah, it's contingent on you're getting this over this period of time. And then, at a future meeting, there would be an amendment to the zoning ordinance that creates the special use. And you could also concurrently then, after that, say,
Add whatever. we want.
hey, we'll have a special use hearing that's contingent on this ordinance getting passed. And kind of roll it all together. It could also get separated if you wanted to, but we're trying to move it through as efficiently as possible. That would be the process. Your turnaround time on that. Aggressively, 6 weeks, do 8 weeks, probably beat that. But that's roughly the time frame.
Could you address the question on if they could sell it? Yeah, that's what the mayor asked was
Sure.
about, what was the implications if they tried
The
to
answer
turn around and
is,
sell it with special use?
yeah, just like your bank example, that was set up where the special use permit stays. And then any subsequent owners could buy it, but they're gonna be buying it subject to having to comply with special use. Likewise, during that process, you could say, no, it can only stay with this current owner if you wanted to. I think that'd be unusual, but it's all about you're identifying conditions that, minimize the impact on the neighborhood. So you didn't get elected to decide that, I don't.
I remember one of the restrictions on the bank, because it came up, somebody talking about making it like a packaged liquor or something, and all that's prohibited.
That's right.
And like a cannabis shop, and that was one of the things, so I mean, that's one of the things that you guys gotta consider too. If it does, if you want to go with that, because it's gonna be. If you want to jump through hoops.
Well, we can find out what the neighbors think. We can just make a
Yeah,
choice
and I
here.
could set it up so that, if it turns out that the special use permit that gets granted. If it does get granted, if one gets granted and has conditions they just can't live with, that, in the contract we put in it, they got it out, they don't have to buy the property. They're not gonna be able to use it for their intended purpose, so that'd be the fair way to sell that.
As part of our proposal, we had already thought kind of towards the visual of the property and trying to close things off to the neighbors so that they don't have to sit in their backyard and stare at it. Was the thought to be able to fence in the property. Outside of that, no, we're not going to look like a brand new bank, adding on to a church, but we will pride ourselves in what we made this, and it's not going to be some hideous building that has stuff laying outside. I mean, we take pride in our work, we take pride in our business and the face of it as well. So, that's something that we have discussed about going in, talking to different neighbors or setting some sort of a meeting up to where people can come, meet us right there in the parking lot and talk about things. Just to make sure people are fully aware of what we intend to do. Our business hours, I'm a big family man, so we are like a 7:30 to 4 o'clock thing, and that's it. Everybody gets time to their family. We don't really do weekends unless, we absolutely have to. But outside of that, we get there, we load our trucks up, and we're on for the day, and there's
Right.
no promotion outside of that. So
That was
Not a lot of foot traffic into the showroom.
Thank you. That was actually my concern, because with it being in a residential neighborhood, I would think that the main complaints that we would get would be like unsightliness or trash
Sure.
and traffic. Just especially like with it being kids and on that school route and whatnot. So, how many vehicles do you typically have?
So it would be the employees parking outside, and then, like I said, at night, all of our company trucks would be inside, but maximum you receive 6 vehicles out there.
That's what you saw for the church.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just trying to like make sure that we're not negatively impacting the neighborhood, but I like, right.
We've only got that people on the Sunday, so.
Yeah.
What's your?
That's my opinion, is kick it over to planning and zoning and see what they think, and go from there. But
And I think going
Is that
through the
process?
process to allow the neighbors to participate and if they want to, and
So
I
then
think
it'll come
that's
back
also.
to us
Mhm.
after.
And I appreciate that you're already like thinking forward to like if they were in your neighborhood, how you would.
Absolutely.
Do we need a motion or just direction?
Well, so is the proper sequence of events here, Mark, to get a contract put together with them and then have them go through the zoning?
Yes,
Okay, so you all would just direct staff to get the contract put together to come back at a later date for approval. And then this group will then need to apply for the both the zoning amendment and the concurrent special use permit. Okay.
Unless I hear.
I'll do that.
what he said.
But there's, so that's,
With the motion now or?
yeah, probably take
I think it's good enough just to poll,
just direction.
yeah. If
Okay.
everybody kind of agrees with that direction, just each say aye, the clerk can put some notes in the thing, none of this is binding. And then you just don't want me doing some paperwork unless it's worth your while, so it's.
So the motion would be like the table until you get approval from planning and zoning.
It's not even that, so you
Say,
support
first,
them,
it's just
support
all-
this, and we'll go ahead and get a contract put together.
I think we're all on the same page.
Yes.
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 You have 6 head nods, like. Right? Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would it be helpful if in the meantime, we did try to reach out to neighbors and with, signatures?
It doesn't hurt to be prepared as a planning and zoning commission meeting.
We get neighbors.
Yeah, I think we were kind of looking for this, that first, and then that would be secondary, so. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Next item, presentation by the Community Festival Commission regarding the upcoming festival and planned activities. Oh, Nora.
Jeremy and he's gonna pass out. So the committee is me, through Jeremy, Angela, Sandy. And Don Wire. The only real change with how it's set up out there is the region's going to use a smaller, real estate, they're not gonna do the state island and something else. Wagner's is not going out there, so the tent will not be in the center. And we're flipping the, rear tent to the north part of the basketball court, because in previous years, the feedback we've gotten is that there's not really enough seating near the carnival where parents can watch their children, so we're alleviating that problem by making that open section where we do the kitty tractor pull and other family focused events. On Thursday, we all know that's not the busiest day, so what we're doing is we're putting some more food trucks, food truck friendly, so 7 food trucks tonight. So we've been selling ribeyes, hot dogs, and pork chops, and the vendors, and we're taking our amusements will be out there, and we're doing $30 at Carnival, $5 if you buy them at the fall. And all 3 days of the festival, the library is also doing a stroll sale, which is full season. Friday is our family fun night. There will be pickleball at 4. We'll have vendors at a sports complex. Kevin Lighty from Scatty is going to be there. Legion will be selling their ribeyes and pork chops again. There will be the usual bags tournament carnival. We're going to do a family bingo on Friday. We're going to try something new with a junk tank that's sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce, and it's going to be ran by the band parents. They're running it for us. The chamber's also running some yard games from a local business, and we're going to do a bubble party. Oh, yeah, no, I haven't posted anything about it yet.
It's out there now.
Also, give away year, that this is the year at the Little Princess. UFA doing the Kitty tractor pull. Will be the beer event, which is sponsored this year by the River Cage. Logan Allen will be performing, and he's sponsored by Engagement Entertainment. And there will develop the library. Saturday, the theme is all St. Joe House. So we start out with a traditional breakfast at the fire department, and then we're gonna do the mud show at the high school. And then from noon to 2, we're really encouraging local downtown businesses to run specials, and quite a few have committed to do that. It's not anything like we're throwing around like a case between Joe event, but it's not anything that formatted really, like different businesses, like some businesses are giving like free samples, some are just running specials, or some are having like a like, you know, like a special flavored drink that is community themed, like a parade. Then 3 will be the parade. And then everything will move back out to the sports complex with the vendors, the ribeyes, sport chops. Yellow Can Studio will perform with the dunk tank again, both carnival rides, beer tent, and Greater Pride More is performing on Saturday. Again, sponsored by Engaging Entertainment, and then the fireworks at dusk. And bingo.
And
Bingo,
bingo.
out the energy.
She said, don't forget.
How could we forget bingo?
And I know I.
Is Braden Privor the cowboy
Yeah.
guy? Okay. Oh, yeah, Farmer wants away. Did he get away?
He
You got a girl.
Okay.
a significant other.
Okay, that's perfect. Good for him.
We're good on the, I have obviously been gone. But we're good on the electric plan for all of this.
Yeah, Julius has got a game plan.
He's got a game plan for that. Okay. That was my only concern.
We will need to, I'll say, we'll need a spider box for the entertainment stage. And then for the food trucks. Actually, I believe the rib cage will be doing generators for power. So that won't be a,
Yeah, in previous years, they were hardwired into the electrical out there, and we just decided as a group that we weren't gonna do that this year. So all vendors are gonna pull that. There will be spider boxes available at certain locations. They do need like in the animal den, she's basically a Build-A-Bear, she has to have power. So she can plug in with a drop cord. But I told all the food trucks they have to be on a generator, and I'm not doing that for the. I'm not electric, so I'm not taking that.
yeah, as long as we have power at the stage for entertainment. We're gonna be good.
Make sure it's happening.
It's already in motion. If there's something that you need that hasn't been addressed, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that the stage is gonna have power.
Are you, Nora, are you aware of what he's discussing? Have we talked with Julius about that?
Julius knows about us to be up near the stage, the tent area. And then I told him that there was one on the big powerful outside the dugout. Stand, but I'd be happy to go out there with him next week to input what they did last year.
But he's already met with electricians out there when we have that coordination meeting. We've already had a coordination meeting with how all this is laid out.
Yeah.
So if you weren't aware of, I'm just want to make sure there's not something extra that we're missing.
I don't
But
think I'll need-
He's met with electricians about this
Yeah.
specifically.
I don't think I'll need a lot of power for the beer tent, maybe just a little bit of lighting. But the stage is what I'm primarily concerned with, is making sure they've got power for the speakers and their amps and everything like that.
Okay, well, he has been working on that.
Okay, I'd be happy to meet with him too and go over everything.
Okay, I just want to make sure with what Nora and Julius and everybody's met with, that we're not duplicating efforts. I'm pretty sure it's already been sort of addressed there. But we'll follow up with it.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Noah. Thank you, Jeremy.
I just want to make one quick note, this is a group, I want to thank you for letting me be a part of that, this fall festival meeting, really fun to get to know some of these guys. Two things that I would ask of our group is, one, we should all say thank you to Nora. Holy cow, this doesn't happen, this festival does not happen without Nora, it just doesn't. So, I want to, from me and from all of the town, we need to say thank you.
Thank you for setting me up.
Yeah.
Here comes the-
You're the dovetail. With that being said, at some point after the festival is over, as a committee member, I would ask that we have a meeting to review all the things that all the challenges we face and how we're gonna move forward in the future.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that changed from last year to this year, and all of it's good. There's a lot of things that happened behind the scenes in the years past. The Mike and all of the things that in good ways, just to make things happen, but it's not sustainable. It's just not. And so I'm asking for your guys' time, whatever's time to meet and discuss our way forward and plan now, because there probably is gonna be some budget things that you have to address. So, just asking for that time when it's appropriate. Let's reason.
I have something to add, because the tickets are sold at the village, and I believe we're the only ones selling them. Right?
Yes.
Okay, so we have them, but we're ready to sell them now.
Okay.
We numbered all the cards.
Awesome.
Nor do you want me to say that, or I was getting ready to post saying we're gonna start next week, but if you're ready to do it now. Yes, okay, I mean, so.
We have a spreadsheet, see, we're documenting everything on it. It's fine.
Oh, that'll get it, thank you.
That's awesome.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to wandering out there a little bit. Maybe have to get a wheelchair. Next item, consideration of possible approval of change order approving the design modification and installing a non-potable water system for the wastewater treatment plant. Joe, you want to review kind of why we're in this position and why we need this?
When the sewer plant bids came in, they came in at 19.6 million. And it was value engineered down to 16.1 million. And in order to do that, numerous items on the list for the project were cut out or changed, or design modifications were made to reduce costs. One of those items is what's called non-potable water system. And the idea behind it, in just a very basic way, you can look into the memo if you want some more specific details, but it's a gigantic water saver for the sewer plant. Come to find out, the way that it was modified ultimately is resulting in a lot higher water usage than what we were expecting. This piece of equipment that the engineers outlined, he believes will reduce our water usage there practically zero, basically just the bathroom and the water usage in the lab. So it would be a huge water
And
savings.
what have we been paying?
So it kind of goes up and down if for
I think the last one was like 800.
800 this time, it's been about 1,000 or so a month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it'll drastically reduce that. So basically, the tricky part that you're in is that you're also considering the sale of the sewer plant system. And that we just don't have information on the timeline for when that's going to be completed. And so the risk you have is if the ICC ultimately doesn't approve the sale, or if you all decide to not go through with the sale, then we'll have however many more months between now and when the sale goes through to paying these exaggerated water rates. So that's the downside risk. Also, this change order would be added into the total project cost, which will have a 15% forgiveness applied to it through the loan. So you're not going to be able to get it installed cheaper than this at this point. This has a deadline on it because Schaumburg is we're wanting to get Schaumburg closed out of the project. It's largely complete. But this is kind of one of the very few items left on a punch list to get knocked out. So basically what this is going to do, you've already when the bids came in, you approved a do not exceed project amount, which gives staff and engineers flexibility on design modifications throughout up to 16.1 million. Through cumulative change orders from project start to where we're at now, the total project cost has been reduced from 16.1 million to 15.8 million. So you have roughly $300,000 savings, roughly.
So it basically came in under budget.
Came in under budget. And so if you approve this, it would just make it come in under budget a little less. Basically,
How quickly can this be done? That we'll see the difference in the.
Jim was talking that it can be done in 30 to 60 days, like it's not that long of a turnaround time.
The big thing overall, it should make the sewer plant self-sustaining. I don't really understand why you gotta run fresh water at the front, but this way you're using the potable water with no chemicals that's going in there, it's flushing your stool more. The only question I have, and that was with Jim. I asked him, I said, are you gonna have, you got more demand during the day, less at the night. So do you have to have a tank or something like that? And he seems to think whatever, we're gonna handle that. I mean, if you look at the specs there, the big cost $25,000 for that pump. You know, everything else, it's a short throw from where everything goes out, what they call the flood screen. So, I mean, you're looking at maybe 30 or 40 feet to go inside the pump building. And then I asked about if by chance putting a hydrant, if that kind of water would be available for cleaning, like the oxidation transfer, the clarifier, anything like that would be. But I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. Go ahead and approve it. If you got other detailed modification, it's, you know, if the sale of plant doesn't go through, it will be more self-sustaining and essentially save $1,000 a month.
And if it does go through,
Yeah.
they're paying for it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I make a motion, we go ahead and approve it.
I'll second.
For discussion. Peters? Yes. Shoulders?
Yes.
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 And she passed things up. Okay. Last item, new business, consideration of possible approval of HMA bid recommendations, including change order number 1. Introducing overall project.
So I gave you a little supplementary, it has my chicken scratches and the green highlight on it. And so basically, this is just specifying how they're doing the work, basically, what hot mix asphalt is and just that actually the construction process. So there's some detail there if you're curious. But it also gives you the bid tabulation. We had 2 bidders. Cross construction came in at 199,000. And Evergreen Roadworks came in at 304,000. Those were the only 2 bidders. It was still over budget, so Cross as the low bidder was still 16% over budget of what our engineer estimate was. So I requested our engineer to reduce the total project to get us under budget. And he did. And so what you have in front of you is that revised project list. And then in addition to that, since this came in higher than what we were hoping, it's delayed when we're going to be able to start the Sherman project. And it will most likely be, we bid out Sherman in December or January. And then it's an early spring construction project, but we're just gonna have to allow time for more funds to come in.
And when you say Sherman, you're talking about the south side of the church
Yes,
off Main Street.
yep, so that has to be delayed just because of the way these patching came in, but, and also since we're doing all this patching, it's, we're not doing oil and chip this year. But, if you have any questions, I'm happy to try to answer them, but otherwise we just recommend.
I did notice you had a completion date, October 31st, 2026. Is that a hard line date for them? So you don't, I mean, so you can get something like, I know it was chip, we're not doing chip, but in the problems when you had last year.
Yeah, it's a hard date.
Okay,
This is also HMA and not the same type of material as last year, so HMA is more of a temperature requirement, it has to be like
Yeah.
250 degrees.
well, that was, I mean, I saw, I didn't want that just to be a suggestion. I want to make sure we get that done.
They'll just have more.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I'll make a motion, we approve it.
I'll say. Any further?
You're approving.
What are we approving?
You're approving the change.
The change order.
The change order from Frost reducing their original bid by $25,200 to $174,742.
Okay. Shoulders.
Okay.
Head, Williamsburg.
Yes.
Cummings.
Yes.
Brett.
Yes,
Walsh. Yes. Peters. Yes. Motion passed. Right. Old business, I don't see any. Village administrator, is there anything you want to, bring up this bill?
they get it this time.
Yes, down.
You want to go right ahead.
I don't know what that one goes. Okay, yeah. Staff updates for the attorney. Anything? No. Work. Public works, nothing. I don't have any updates. Trustees, anything?
Okay, if you get an opportunity, about the parking lot.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes, I went out there, the public works, I want to recommend, commend them for the work that they've done. If you get a chance, please go out to the sports complex. They have dressed fields, they've dressed parking lots, cleaned up a lot. The mowing, the landscaping, new wood chips in the playground. It looks, it's gonna look really good for the fall festival. They've got a lot of work that I want to commend them for the work they've done, but go out there and check it out. There's one little corner they haven't done yet, on the south side, but, it will be done. It looks great. Okay, we need to go to executive session.
I make a motion to enter into executive session for the limited purpose of discussing probable or imminent litigation pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2 C11.
For a second.
Yeah.
I'll
say.
Yeah.
I'll say. Yes.
Cummings,
Yes.
Pratt,
Yes.
Walsh,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Yes.